Hello everyone, konnichiwa. Welcome to yet another stream. We're going to do things slightly different this time. We are doing a departure prep. The stream's going to run for most of the cruise unless something really comes up. And then we'll have an arrival and the whole arrival situation into the destination airport. And then we'll watch a couple of replays. So it's going to be a pretty long one. It's going to be a pretty chill one. So we're going to spend some time just chilling. Here we are in the new Chitose airport in Sapporo, Japan. I think it's the island of Hokkaido or Honshu. I think it's Hokkaido. Hokkaido is the one on top. Honshu is the one that's got Tokyo. Obviously in Japan now it's probably going to be night. But we are flying with the time offset, so I'll tell you what the actual UTC time is. And what we're flying in sim. So IRL UTC is... Oh, I don't have a world clock on. Excuse me. IRL. Yep, perfect. UTC right now is 10:36 a.m. On the sim, we're flying about 5 hours behind UTC. So it's currently 5:36 in the sim, which makes the time here in Sapporo around 1 p.m. or 2:36 p.m. And we're just about to get started on the flight. You can see some information up there. I just need to reset the times. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna hide the ETEs because I can't be asked to figure out what's happening when. So let me see if there's a way for me to hide those. No, there isn't. Okay, I think we can say about 40 minutes from now or an hour from now we should. 40 minutes. I think 40 minutes is a reasonable time. So we are gonna go ahead for departure at 11:25 UTC. Oh yeah, that's right there. 11:25 up there on top is correct. And the flight is supposed to take us schedule block time of how's that? 14. That's not right. 4 hours and 5 minutes. So we should be getting there at 15:30. Nope, 4 is 15:30 UTC times. That's the plan. There's an event going on in between Seoul and Taipei, and we're kind of gate crashing the event, and we're going to show up towards just the Taipei part of it because I don't want to really get stuck in a departure queue. So let's see. So we are at the control tower here in Chitose Airport. Let's just pretend we're in the briefing room, and I'll give you some information on our flight and the flight plan for today. That's what it's gonna look like. We're gonna depart here up north at Sapporo. There'll be a departure, and we'll fly along the western coast of Japan, cross a little bit here. I don't know what this island is called, but that's just east of Nagasaki and Fukuoka. And we'll head south towards Naha in Okinawa. And this is, I guess, some other island. I don't know what's called. Miyakojima. Before we turn into Taipei. The reason we're doing this is because the majority of the event stream is going to go something like this. So we're trying to keep slightly away from the event stream, not to mention as of right now there is a hurricane or a typhoon, I guess. Sorry, hold on a sec. There's a typhoon somewhere over here called Typhoon Dolphin, and it's supposed to be heading, yep, there we go. That gives you an idea. So that event stream would have taken us right to the middle of that, and we're kind of, well, to be fair, we should have avoided something like this. But that's the predominant reason why we're doing this, because these storm lines are supposed to go out this way. Taking some additional fuel for that, and I'll show you what that's going to look like. And boom. So that is our plan for the flight. We are Starlux. Yeah, didn't say that. Yeah, so we are flying the Starlux airline. So I forget what its call sign is. I think it's Starfly or Starwalker. We'll take a look. Service 851 from Sapporo to Taipei. The alternate is Kaohsiung. It's air time of 3 hours 45, block of 405. So expecting runway 01 right here in New Chitose. We'll see what the weather is like. That's a departure, that's a routing, eventually ending up in Taipei. Cost index is going to be 59. That's our air distance and ground distance. As you can see, the air distance slightly greater than ground distance, meaning we have a headwind. There's no takeoff alternate required. The weather here is fantastic. What can I tell you here? 5% contingency. We've taken about 15 minutes of additional fuel for ATC delays and about 10 minutes to avoid weather if required. Taxi fuel 600 kilos is about 20 minutes of taxi. I don't think we'll use all of that. And that's all we need to know from this spot here. For our departure here at New Chitose, we can take a look at what's going on. Tempo ops, 0-1s are preferred when the tailwind component is less than 10. Let's see. Revision of checkpoints, something's no longer in force. La-di-da-di-da, centerline lighting. So nothing crazy going on here in Chitose. The reason I'm taking a look here is now if there's anything else we need to do for arrival into Taipei. So we should get to Taipei. I said it was 15 something UTC, right? So let's take a look here. At our time of arrival is going to be a tempo 3,200 showers of rain. And there's unmanned aircraft, unmanned aircraft, unmanned aircraft, unmanned aircraft, unmanned aircraft, birds, unmanned aircraft, unmanned aircraft, unmanned aircraft, unmanned aircraft, unmanned aircraft, unmanned aircraft, lots of unmanned aircraft. Let me go find something interesting. Great. Outside our times, outside our times, outside our times, outside our times. So yeah, no significant no times affecting our departure here. And our alternate Kaohsiung should have similar weather. It's just windy but no rain, so it's a possibility for us to then just go on to Kaohsiung if Taipei becomes unavailable out of the traffic or due to weather. Now that we know what's going on with the airplane, let's go check her out. Yeah, that's it. I just want to get some cinematics started. So here it is. This is the Starlux Airbus A340-1000. I think these A350-1000s are relatively new to the fleet at Starlux. You can see the jet bridge hasn't quite connected correctly there. That's just a GSX limitation. I'm using a freeware Romeo Juliet Charlie Charlie that I found in on flightsim.to. And the arrival is going to be onto the ACO Designs, Taipei Taoyuan, or Taiwan Taoyuan Airport. This is not painted in Starlux standard livery. This is Air Sorayama. I think Mr. Sorayama is some sort of Japanese designer and artist of sorts. So they've come up with two A350-1000s. This is the one in chrome silver, and there's one in gold. I think the gold is a bit garish. This looks really nice. So we've opted to fly this for our route today on the A350-1000. It's also a return to the A350-1000 after a while of not having flown it. So we'll take a look. I've also worked on some additional views for you guys so that the landing and takeoff should look a little bit more similar to a pilot's eye view. And then the way I've managed to do that, obviously I haven't got it shown here. I have got a separate screen now just below my main screen, which displays my PFD, my navigation display, and the MFD for the Airbus 350. So what we're going to do in terms of views for takeoff and landing, we'll set the view at the eye reference point for the pilot, and I'm just going to keep scanning up and down. So you won't be able to see the PFD and stuff. If it's something that you would be very interested in for the next stream onwards, or maybe even this stream, if we have some time to make adjustments, we'll get the PFD showing somewhere around the sides. Excellent. So let's now go down the jet bridge and into the aircraft. There she is, the Air Sorayama Airbus A350-1000 in Starlux livery. And into the flight deck we go, and we can get started on some work. Nobody's in, just us at the moment. Nice clean flight deck, exactly how we like it. Aircraft is clean, nothing on the tech log. But we'll get into the seat and we'll see if there's something that needs to be addressed. With these airplanes, I like to start off at the OIS, make sure our flight plan stuff is ready. What I haven't done for a long time here on the A350 is update the nav data, so that's something we need to do. Let's see if maybe we can... Excuse me. I'm just gonna go and see what we can do about the code here. And we're letting Navigraph essentially into the aircraft, and we'll update the nav data. There we go. Navigraph done. Let's update our nav data. Nav data is downloaded. Oh, well, guess I'm gonna update it again. Downloaded, and it should be ready now. Let's just make sure it is, because I don't want to start the push and then realize it isn't quite right. That's not it. Let's go back to the init page again, make sure we have the right status for the airplane. 6th of August to 2nd of September. So we do have the right nav data here for the aircraft. Let's go ahead and set up the rest of the OIS. I'm not very fussed about all of this. This is great. What I will do is get some air conditioning into the aircraft. We got chocks and GPU on, and our OFP should come through. Let's see. Flight ops plan. Nope, that's not the one. Import from SimBrief, and we can set the zero fuel weight and fuel. Instant refuel. I don't like to do the progressive refuel. I feel like it takes a very long time, and it just adds more, not necessarily complexity, but I've had issues once in a while. We'll get the terminal charts ready. Obviously we're going to take a look at this through the planner as well, but I'll get a few pieces of it ready for a departure, at least these three key items for now. Load sheet's done, OFP's been checked, takeoff performance will go. En route, I don't want to see that because that often gets stuck. In terms of maintenance, let's see what the aircraft looks like. Jumped into it a bit too quickly. We want to look at... Honestly, I've forgotten a lot about this airplane. I don't remember how things work. Yes, so we'll look at hydraulics initially, yeah. Things are looking, I guess, good, yeah, like that's not a problem. And we'll take a look at the engine instruments to make sure we've got sufficient. I guess we got enough oil quantity. Doesn't tell me, so it doesn't give me a warning, so I guess that's alright. Oop, got a message. Let's see who said what. Oh, nobody said anything. That's interesting. I keep getting these dings that you know, someone's watching or someone said something, but clearly no. Batteries are doing alright, so in general, aircraft in terms of maintenance doing really good. All the brakes, all the tires, fantastic. So we don't have a lot of excuses. Let's jump in. Start with the overhead panel. Those are already on nav. Let's get some oxygen supply in for the crew. I'll turn this on when I'm pressurizing hydraulics, just before the engine start. This is great. Strobes are going to go on off because it depicts incorrectly on VATSIM. This can go onto ARM. Mobile phones can go on auto. No smokings, no PED, of course. Seatbelts on. QNH is set. Let's go. I like to see constraints, airport traffic, and VORs that are in and around the airport that we may or may not use. So those are my go-tos there. On the FCU, I don't know anything yet. We'll just set something higher for now. FO is going to look at the same stuff as I am, except at some point maybe it'll go on to the weather. Let's see some other panels. Center pedestal. What can I do here? Nothing. Parking brake set. Let's jump in and get the work on the routing. So we've checked the data, that's alright, that's what we changed to start with, and we'll send a request to the company for our flight planning. They should have something nice for us. And that company flight plan is inserted. So we are Sierra Juliet X-Ray 851. I'm looking here, folks, on my sim brief. I'm not going to show it to you, but I assure you it's correct. Sierra Juliet X-Ray 851 from Romeo Juliet Charlie Charlie to Romeo Charlie Tango Papa, the alternate countdown, Kilo Hotel. No alternate route, cruising, flight level. It has us starting the cruise at level 380 and we stay at 380 for the whole flight. Minus 43. Minus 49 at top of climb, but I guess that's the whole thing. Tropo is alright. Cost index 59. Check database cycle. Do we not just do that? Okay, so we didn't clear from default, but yes, that's there. That's good. As for wind data, let's see if we can maybe request the wind from the company. It's been received, and we can insert the wind data. Excellent. Now, before we go further, let's pull out our iPad and let's look at some of the. Let's look at the weather we're expecting here in Chitose. I was wrong. I thought there was a way for me to see the weather like in other iniBuild chart stuff, but that's all right. We'll pull out a planner. Excellent. So here we have the weather for Chitose. If you look here at information, the weather, it's 350 at 14, so decently windy, great visibility, a few clouds at 1500, and is broken or not broken, 21 degrees 1009. So I'm going to go onto my knee board here and we'll take a look at what departure we can expect to do. So the way the wind's blowing from the north, most likely is going to be a one left, one right for departure. What I like to do is then look at the AGC to find the easiest way to set runways. We'll park somewhere around there, Juliet 2, and runway 1 left would be the best, but we'll leave that. Yeah, they're actually quite similar. Let's just use runway 1 left for departure, unless the AOI has something different to say. I'm just going to screen through this. They have some general procedures, of course. Takeoff preferential is 1 left and 1 on the right. There we go. They have a low-level wind shear alert system in operation as well. So 1 left, 1 right. So we're right with using runway 1 left for departure. I'm going to go to the departure part here. Departure minima, not interested. The weather is actually pretty good, so we don't even have to worry about it. NADP, and they'll tell us to use the following sets between 13 and 22. Obviously I'm using a slight offset, but it's still not 13 in the real world as well, so we're not too excited with that. So the only information we really get is the departure runway. Our flight plan had us flying the Resort 3 departure, and I guess transitioning on to Dalby. So let's get the Resort. Let's get the Resort 3 departure. That's what the Resort 3 looks like. There's a critical DME gap, we're not too stressed. Heading 002 until 500, Charlie Charlie 01 Tango, Charlie Charlie 02 Tango, 03 Tango 3 above. We'll go back to the Chitose VOR Resort, and then it takes us to Tico. From there we're going to do an RNAV transition, and those RNAV transitions will take us from Tico, Funka, and then Dalby, where we need to go. I'll just take a look at these. Nothing too significant here, nothing significant there either. So you know the routing, we're going to go ahead and put that in, and I didn't see anything too strict with it or anything too concerning, so if there is, we'll go ahead and we'll talk about that maybe in a short brief that we'll do. Oh, that's Romeo Echo Zulu, Resort 3. transitioning to via Funka, and that's going to take us to Dolby. Let's take a look at the flight plan. Yeah, that's what we want. That's inserted. Fuel and load. Now this is important. Let's just make sure we have the right fuel and load settings on the OIS as well. So on the OIS, on the load sheet. And I'm also going to take a look to make sure that's what matches on my SimBrief plan. So on SimBrief, the zero fuel weight was supposed to be 190.4. It's 190.3, which is close enough, and we have 333 tons of fuel, and we were supposed to have 333 tons of fuel. So that's all correct. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these numbers: 190,384 and 30.0. 190,384 and 1903. That's fantastic. We'll enter, and the zero fuel weight CG is 30. That we got from the load sheet as well. This is 33.3, wasn't it? Yeah, 33.3. As for the number of passengers, we are expecting to take 321 of them. That can go in. And I'll just check this. Based on SimBrief, our route reserve 5% was supposed to be 1.1, which checks. Alternate is 4.3. I'm going to change that. And the final reserve with about 30 minutes of fuel was supposed to be 2.5. We're going to go ahead and change that as well. 2.5. All of that's in, and we're expecting to land at Taiwan with 6.8 minimum fuel at destination. And that is sorted. Let's go back to the OIS and do our departure prep, our takeoff performance. I'm just going to sync everything. We're going to sync the FMS. Excuse me. I'm going to sync the weather. So dry runway, anti-ice is not required. That's a takeoff weight, which is a zero fuel weight plus the actual fuel. And there should be 223.7 versus what we have on SimBrief 223.1. So we're going to lose a little bit on taxi, but we're not going to count it because it's not too much. And let's compute. So at one left with a takeoff distance of 3,000 meters, they're expecting us to flex to 68, flaps 1 plus F. And these are the thrust reduction and engine out altitudes. And 39, 40, 46. We'll send that to the FMS. The FMS should have received this by now. Hit performance 139, 140, 146, flexing to 68. And flaps 1, THS is there, packs anti-ice, and all of that is ready for engine out. For the thrust reduction and acceleration. And that's it, folks. I think we are ready. We'll just do a checklist here for the first bit. Cockpit preparation checklist. Let's start with that. Gear pins and covers. We did that walk around. We have it in the box. That's great. Fuel quantity. It's 33.3. It's checked. Seatbelts are on. And barrel reference for both of us, my colleague and I. 1009er. 1009er. And on the ISFT 1009er. So that is checked. And what's the next checklist? It's going to be before start. Alright, so I think we are about to get to that stage at the moment. Let's go ahead and get the APU started. While the APU is starting up, let's just let me talk you through the departure plan once again. Well, actually, I'm going to look through it because I don't see anything that needs to be really addressed to a high standard or really high quality. There we go. For the SID, the only thing I'll do slightly different is passing 500. We're going to try to keep the speed pulled to keep the speed at flaps up speed or something, and then we'll turn the whole way until we're pointing right back to Chitose. We'll keep the speed down, or actually pointing towards Charlie 03 Tango. We'll keep the speed in just so we can speed up and then leave at Tico. that's all I have. So we need to come up with a plan for an engine failure. What I like to do in that case is I like to look at the ILS approaches for the runway we are departing from, and that tells us to go, well, the missed approach procedure is to go to Mukawa, sorry. Let's see if the RMP approach is something similar. No, just go to Mukawa, Mike Kilo Echo. So that's what we'll do. When we have the moment, we'll turn back to Mike Kilo Echo. And there's a bit of a valley on both sides, so maybe before we turn we'll assess. Alternatively, we can go to this waypoint Kaori. I think I like that better, so we'll go to Kaori instead if we have an engine failure. I'm going to set that up on the McDo. How I'm going to set it up, that's a great question. I don't really know. Nope. There should be a fix info. You know what? I don't actually know how to do that. Fix info. Ah, there we go. Fix info. And the reference ident fix was Kaori, K-A-O-R-Y, Kilo Alpha Oscar Romeo Yankee. Oops. Kilo Alpha Oscar Romeo Yankee. And we'll go here if shit hits the fan. Climbing to 4,000 feet. And that should show up on our ND. If I zoom that out a little bit more. There we go, Kaori. So that's where we'd end up going if things aren't working out for us on the departure. Let's zoom in. Get a nice airport map. I struggle with this sometimes, even though I have the Navigraph loaded. Sometimes it's either a bit slow, or it tells you Navigraph unverified or something along those lines. Hopefully it works this time. I mean, yeah, kinda. The terminal is on the old Chitose side, which is probably why you see there it's showing me at I'm at Romeo Juliet Charlie Juliet. Maybe I can choose a different airport. That's going to be Romeo Juliet Charlie Charlie. Maybe that will give me a moving map. Airport select, Romeo Juliet Charlie Charlie. It needs to be on plan mode, unfortunately. Romeo Juliet Charlie Charlie. I hope this doesn't crash my sim, because I'm a bit worried at this point. While we're waiting for that, let's go hit the mailbox, because we have a company message. Wait. Press the wrong buttons. Yeah, so that's, that shows there. So, yeah, basically Romeo Juliet Charlie Charlie and Romeo Juliet Charlie Juliet, Romeo Charlie Juliet Juliet are co-located, which is why we kind of struggle with some of this message record. All messages. This is the final load sheet that we received. MACTO, max 0 fuel weight 30.1. Takeoff weight, takeoff fuel, 0 fuel weight. Okay, we're happy with that. Good. Everything's sorted out. Obviously now it seems that we won't be able to use that for our departure. So I'm just gonna use my maps separately, and that should work out correctly for us. Okay, now let's get GSX to prepare us. Unfortunately, I didn't update GSX, so that's a bit of poor planning on my end there. Let's go on to the OIS. We should be able to get our terminal charts ready. APC to start with. Let's see, there's no traffic, no controllers, and we're... okay, so I've parked at the domestic terminal, that's my bad. We're gonna taxi on Juliet initially, and we'll go down this way. Alright, so they are almost ready. Let's go ahead with the overhead panel, get the fuel pumps in. All of them on auto, the beacon lights can go on, seatbelts verified on, and there should be another checklist for us to do. The before start checklist. Parking brake. Parking brake, where is that? There it is, the parking brake is set. Takeoff speeds and thrust. It's gonna be flex 68 speeds at 39, 40 and 46. So flex 68, 39, 40 and 46. Slides. I don't know if they're armed. Hold on a sec, let's go make sure that all the doors are closed and all the slides are armed. That shows me here they are armed, and all the slides are armed. Beacon lights are on, nose wheel steering disconnect memo is available. So that's the end of the checklist. Let's go ahead and turn the external power off one by one. Make sure the APU bleed is on, and on the OIS we'll disconnect the ground power, the air conditioning unit and the chocks. The aircraft should now be ready for departure. I'll get my headsets on. Vital to listen to air traffic as they come through. What next? What next? All set, yeah. Oh, we didn't set a takeoff altitude. I just went for the next cruise. I mean the highest constraint that I could find on the departure. So we continue to push back, nose facing left. I will advise. New Cheetos air traffic. I'll be Starwalker 851, push to start from stand 6. New Cheetos air traffic. Parking brake released. What we need to do next is hit surveillance. Make sure that this is on auto, and that should. That'll be ready for us. Engine start sequence 2 then 1, starting number 2. It's a satisfying startup sound. Engine 1 is available, starting number... Sorry, engine 2 is available, starting number 1. Alright, this airplane is capable of single engine taxi out, so we'll go ahead and tell him to disconnect. It's the first time I've seen this pink bit here, so I don't really know what I'm looking at. Left door and right door cleared. Sorry about that. We have 2 good engine starts. So I go ahead next to make sure the engine lever is turned off. We'll hit the overhead panel, turn off the AP bleed. We don't need the AP for departure. We'll turn that off as well. We'll go back to this. Make sure the auto brake is on RTO. I'll do that after. And I think we need to arm the speed brakes. We get that message there. And for departure, flaps 1 plus F. I should be showing shortly. Just waiting on the flaps. Alright, flaps 1 plus F. Back to this. So the airplane will tell you about flight control, so I'm going to go full right now. You can see the ailerons and spoilers on the right side have increased. Full left. Ailerons and spoilers on the left side have gone up, and this is going down here on the right side of the aileron. Pitching down. Elevator is going down. Pitching up. Elevator is going up. This is full left. Full right. 3.5 up for the pitch trim, the other trim is 0. Let's do another checklist. After start checklist. Anti-ice is off, flight controls have been checked. Ground clearance has been received. The after start checklist is complete. Let's taxi. Before we taxi, I'll make sure I get the right close up for this guy. The airline Starbucks. They call sign for Starbucks. Starbucks. Okay. I made a mistake. It seems I'm not transmitting. 122 goes per 8. Listen. Transmit. Excellent. This should work now. Chitose traffic, Starwalker 851, taxi to runway 01 left to Chitose. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Parking brake is released. Here we go. I don't think there's any other traffic, but I'm gonna go left instead here, just so that I'm not in this way if we have a problem. Okay, my nose wheel steering is not being detected. Hold on a second. Now it is. Alright. Pardon me. So this is the new, well not new, this is a landing gear that I'm going to have from now on, because I've got my PFD here. I'm not going to use it for the taxi, but I'll come back to it for the takeoff hold, for the landing. That's our departure runway, except the wrong side of it. We have another 3 kilometers that we need to go down. And hopefully we'll do it nice and fast. It's a light steering angle here, so 11 knots shouldn't be a problem. I don't think I'm scraping anything. Excellent. There's a couple other things I'd like to do. PWS goes into onto here. Performance again. And we'll take a look at the takeoff config. Just waiting for the cabin ready. "30 knots, that's maximum taxiing speed." And I'll bring her back down gently. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go check if there's other traffic in and around the area, and I also want to see how that event is kicking off. I don't see a lot of people. Did I get the wrong date? I certainly hope not. While looking at... not a lot. I only see 9 departures out of Seoul. I guess we could have done the flight out of Seoul after all. And as for the arrivals into Taipei, 19 arrivals. That's more that I like. That's a good number. In terms of ETAs, let's see. There's someone arriving about 15 minutes before me, and someone arriving about an hour after me. So not a very busy event. I feel like Taipei doesn't get the same amount of visitors on flights as airports like Hong Kong. Hong Kong gets a lot. The Asia Pacific region. I think Singapore gets a decent amount as well. But Taipei seems to be underserved. Alright, I am slowing down again. We get the message there that the cabin is now ready. Let's take a look at the taxi checklist. Flap setting. Config 1 plus F, which is what I'll say on the OIS as well. Takeoff performance, config 1 plus F. So we have the right takeoff performance for the flight. Make sure we have the runway as well. The radar is on. Checklist complete. There's another one to do. It's called a lineup checklist, which is a bit difficult to do. With single pilot mode, so we're going to really slow it down. Lineup checklist. Cabin has been secured. Takeoff runway confirmed 01 left. Packs 1 and 2 remain on. Lineup checklist complete. I will advise traffic that we're relying on. Uchitose traffic, stall walkway 857, lining up runway 01 left. Uchitose traffic. It gives me an alert for packs here, so just want to make sure that the takeoff performance is on. Very well, ladies and gents. it's time for our departure. I'm not entirely sure why your maps weren't following the aircraft. It should have done. Apologize for that, but we're going to throw that away. And take off. We'll let it stabilize at 50%. Sorry, 50% power. And flight 68 SRS runway, we have a thrust group B. We'll start timer here for the takeoff oil. And I'm looking now outside. This is how we fly.
V1.
Outside, V1, rotate. And I keep my eyes outside until I've lost the horizon and I'm now on PFD. Once I'm on the PFD, gear up. Nav. Thrust derating, climb, nav. So this is a lot more realistic to the real world, because on the sim it can feel like you're doing things fairly quickly, or you have a very good scan.
Okay, traffic toward West 100, taxi to runway 01 left, BR, Tang 1, Tang 2, Hotel 4, there,
Cool. Where was I? Yeah, so the PFD actually being separated and stuff, it mimics more your actual transition where your eyes go. And when you're flying on flights and kind of zoomed out, it's not a big deal. But obviously when you actually need to scan, it's a bit more realistic, I suppose. So I'll pull the speed on the VATSIM, speed 210 knots, and I've got a master caution here because I forgot to put the TCAS array on. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the TCAS array on just now. So you see, like here, I have a pretty big overview. But when I go back to the original, to the eye point view, I need to keep sweating my eyes. Definitely interesting. Also gives you a chance to appreciate a little bit more of the scenery. You guys have no idea what I'm doing, so we'll put it this way. It's a bit odd. For the past 2-3 flights I've been trying the A350, which obviously has the trim, or which needs to be trimmed. And not having to trim this is slightly eerie. So I keep finding myself on the hand switches, trimming the aircraft even though it's not required. Okay, so I've clearly forgotten a lot of things here with the takeoff. Forgot my landing lights, forgot this, forgot that. So the whole point of the checklist was to make sure I've got everything covered, and I've forgotten the main stuff, so TCAS and the lights. We've just departed. Excellent, now we're pointing more or less the direction that we want to go to. So at this point I'll let the FCU speed us up. And she's speeding us up all the way to 250 knots. After which we'll go on to whatever the econ speed is going to be based on the cost of 59. It's 21 degrees outside, so we don't need any anti-ice for that. And now we're turning towards the next waypoint, which is Charlie Hotel Echo.
traffic, runway 01 line, company.
We can continue higher, but let's go up to flight level 240, that's pound. It's 10,000 feet now. I'm going to pitch down and start speeding up. 310 miles, 309 miles. Alright, we're through 1,000 feet. From here on, the flight's actually kind of straight and level, so we'll get the autopilot on.
Okay, traffic 2 West 100, line on the West 01 left. Okay.
This cloud doesn't look too dangerous. Oh, and I've started hiding the chats. Just there's a lot of bots, and they have a tendency to let exactly a touchdown. Kind of takes away from the fun of
3 miles on final runway 01 wide, call short runway 01 left.
Excellent. So let me finish off the other stuff we need to do. Landing lights can go off, this can go off, strobe beacon, that's great. Logo off, seatbelts can go off, actually auto, and no PEDs on auto as well. And the last thing I need to do is I want to get rid of this company mail message. There's a preliminary load sheet, I've seen it, and the company mail message is finally gone. Now I'm gonna use what do you call it? We're gonna use chase plane to set up this view.
Traffic Japan 527.
So this is as the ISS, yeah, which is rather boring. So we'll set up something like this, so you get a little bit of a reference of the flight deck, and you also get to see outside, and it's set up for the landing. So I'm going to call this the landing view, and this is what we'll use for the landing. We are through true transition altitude, so we set standard here, standard there, and standard also on the standby display. Excellent. Usually around this part here of the flight, I start looking a little bit further ahead, and I guess today is a good day for us to kind of do it together. I'll bring up that moving map once more. Perfect. North up? No, we're up. There should be some weather around there. Obviously, VATSIM and Navigraph might have different depictions, so we can expect a little bit there. Let's see. The departure finishes at Dolby, and what I'm looking for here, the high IFR charts, are airports that are potentially capable of taking in the A350 500. Sorry, 1000. Oh gosh. So those circles there mark airports around Japan. I know Sapporo is a big one, definitely can take us. There's something smaller here. Misawa Air Base, that's not it. Aomori at 3000. So we could land on that runway if we needed to, but I like to stick to the bigger cities. So the next would be Sendai here. Both the Tokyo airports, that's Narita, you know, it's obviously a little bit easier when you have it north up. So we have Tokyo Narita there. We have Tokyo Haneda and Osaka Kansai, Fukuoka, and I think this is Nagasaki. As we go further, we'll get Naha, Okinawa. I wonder how it's going to do with the weather, so we'll see what the weather is like, and then we're close enough at that point just to carry on to Taipei. Brilliant. So now you know. And if you're interested in following the track of the flight, I'll set that up here with some airports, and you should be able to see what that looks like on in the corner there. Let's move that over. Excellent. That should give you information on the flight, where we are and how we're doing. I think what I can do on top of that is give you some telemetry, so you'll be able to see essentially how we progress along the flight. Oh, the telemetry is hidden behind the weather. Okay, so we're going to get rid of the weather. Do we have telemetry now? Still no. Okay, so we're just going to use the telemetry up top there. That, where does that come from? Oh, there we go, telemetry, perfect. So at the bottom there, you'll have some details straight from Navigraph, if you can see it. If you can't, I think it might be small for mobile devices. So I can tell you here, this part of the world, oh sheesh. Oh my days. Okay, that's a lot going on. Hey. Hola from Germany. Hi guys. That's a lot of people. Welcome. Are you all interested in flight sim as well? Wagwan Finlander. Nice. So I need to find out who El Morador is. And oh, German streamer. Schönen Abend. Willkommen. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I wanted to do the flight into Melbourne, but that would be about 6 or 8 a.m. this morning, so it was yeah, it was a bit messy. I couldn't get that departure done. I was gonna do, honestly, Taipei, Melbourne, and then fly back in time for the event here at Taipei. King of Frankfurt Friday. Yeah, Frankfurt Friday is a lot of fun. I just feel like it crashes my sim all the time. Just I can't keep up with the amount of traffic on Frankfurt Fridays. Well, yeah, I mean, I much prefer arriving into Frankfurt than departing out of it, because I feel like just getting a clearance out of Frankfurt on Frankfurt Fridays is insane. Neo Nexio 359. Yes, I am, which is why I'm here now on an A350, because I'm not very keen on flying work airplanes at excuse me. I'm not keen on flying work airplanes here on my days off at home. So flight level 380, it shouldn't be any problem. 380. Or as the Germans say, flight level 380. I hope that's right. I think that's correct. 380. Wunderbar. MD-11. I love the MD-11. The MD-11 is probably one of my favorite airplanes here on FlightSim at the moment. That and the Aerosoft toolless A340-600. I like how that just gives me random failures that I need to deal with. If I get those failures that need me to divert ASAP while I'm on VATSIM, I'll just turn it off. But I do like the A340-600. MD-11 though is fantastic. I like how quirky it is to get started. I like how it can be a little bit unforgiving. And it's fun. They've done a good job on the artwork and the extended simulation. So yeah, it was quite a nice aircraft. As for Frankfurt Fridays, PDC, yes, I do use PDC. I try to get there either at the start of the event or towards the end. If I'm departing out of it, one of my favorite flights to do on Frankfurt Friday is the Singapore Airlines flight back to Singapore, and I do that as on an A380, and it's always fun when you're in that corner and you have to push back, and you get other people who don't really know how to push back in Frankfurt, and then yeah, it's definitely fun. I think the next time I do a Frankfurt Friday we'll do something from the cargo end of it. But yeah, I mean, next Friday, what day is it today? Oh, Saturday. Well, I don't know what I'm doing next Friday, so maybe we'll see you guys in Frankfurt. I haven't done an event into Germany in a long time. I'm trying to do things that are maybe slightly different, slightly more unique, because I think I've done a lot of Frankfurt Fridays and also München Mittwoch. So I've been kind of away from Germany for a bit. Call you on your Discord. Okay. Let me see. Oh, actually, I can't call on Discord. I'm actually surprised I can do VATSIM. I'm in a country where voice over internet protocols are, let's say, limited, or well, they don't really work. So I'll need to do a VPN and then Discord. It's the whole thing. Maybe I got my VPN up on the phone already. But yeah, that's I don't actually do a lot of Discord chats. I mean, I'm on it, but I'm a lurker. What's your Discord channel? Let me see if I can find it. I don't know who Han Li Fly is, but he's we are living in Elmo's world, Han Li. Are you like German Chinese, like Han Li, or just like regular Chinese, or? Alright, I'm gonna find you guys on Discord. Let's open that link. Please don't be a scam. Okay. Nice. I think I'm in. Yeah, I'm at the party. The rules are all in German though, so I don't understand. Regeln für Sprachkanal. Respectful speech. Kein lauten Geräusch. Don't smoke loudly. Aufnehmer von Gesprächen. I don't know. Guys, I don't think that's the channel for me. I don't understand the rules. Gespräche dürfen nicht ohne die Zustimmung aller Beteiligten aufgenommen werden. I used to know what aufgenommen meant. I don't know anymore. Aufgenommen. Yeah. So what are you guys into? Like, are any of you flying onto the event in Taipei? Ah. Oh, cool. Where are you guys now? Let me try see if I can find some of you on VATSIM radar. Oh, are you guys? No, that's not you. I'm pretty sure someone said here that you guys did Abu Dhabi to Melbourne. But either way, there's an event in Taipei, and come join. It's a lot of fun. I see a lot of arrivals here. There's a decent amount of people coming in. So usually I do these streams as either just a departure part, a little bit of the cruise, and then the arrival stream after. So you're rating me on the correct day. I plan on being on for the whole bit of the flight. Obviously I'm going to take breaks because I have to go check in on my wife once in a while. Make sure she's not needing attention, and she'll let me continue playing. And then just stuff around the house, you know, so it's a pretty good day. And then I have to do my bidding for September, so I'm gonna be here for that as well. What's your story, Renluca? Why are you not flying to Taipei today? I'm pretty sure we all have the same wife. I mean, mine is pretty... what's the word for it? Understanding, or she's supportive of my hobby and how much it costs. So I can't complain. So I just have to go check in once in a while to, you know, to remind her that she's still number one. You know, we don't wanna get on her wrong side. Okay. Oops, sorry. I have the wrong. And that was from Stuttgart Aviation. Have they finished that train station that they were building? The Stammstrecke or something, the underground railway station infrastructure thing in Stuttgart? They haven't. Okay. Well, that checks. It's been what? I think it's been 10 years since I've stayed in Germany for an extended period of time, and that was still under construction then. So I mean, hopefully soon. Hopefully it's pretty good. hopefully the trains get faster. It's a lot of infrastructure. Excellent. So I'm gonna go back here onto. I'm gonna get the moving map a little bit, just a bit smaller maybe. Super. Yeah, I mean, at this point it's probably going to be ready by 2030, right? I mean, I don't think anyone's actually paying attention to the finishing date. I mean, I don't know if it makes a big difference in your life specifically, whether that's completed or not. But I assume it's going to cause quite a bit of delays from the other for the other trains. Yeah, I mean, where I am, we have a lot of infrastructure being constructed, so we don't look at the price. To be honest, I don't know how much any of it costs. It looks nice, the toilets are clean, they have this aesthetic vibe to them, and the air conditioning is good, so can't really complain there. Okay, I'm gonna nerd out for a second, and I am going to... What was I gonna do? Yeah, I'm going to pretend that if something happens now, we need to have a plan. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go on to secondary, and essentially I'm going to make a new flight plan that takes me to our ultimate, our en route ultimates, where I would select at this point, which would be Tokyo Narita. 15.5 billion euros. Oh my days. Yeah, that's a tough pricing. I would say, I mean, how much was it supposed to be? Next year, A350. Sorry, I can't tell you which airline, because then someone's gonna tell my employer that, hey, this dude's doing this on his days off, his approaches haven't been 100% stable, and then the actual safety department's gonna come here, look at my videos and my streams and be like, you're gonna get fired. So I'd rather not mention the airline. I think 737's Middle East, you get an idea. Well, I didn't say Middle East, but now I did. So Middle East, 737s, and there should be a couple of operators, a few cargo operators and a few passenger operators that should give you an idea who it is and where it's for. I mean, who it's for. And I think we can set a new destination here. That's gonna be Tokyo Narita. Oops. So essentially now I'm setting up for a diversion to Narita. If that ever becomes required, I don't think it will be. Okay, what kind of plane? Right, let me do that first. What kind of planes do I have? So from left to right, I have a few. I like special liveries, right? So the first one is a 787 Knight from Scoot. That's the Pokemon jet. Right next to it is a Qantas 737-800, and that's got one of the special Aboriginal art liveries. So true, sorry. Sorry about that. Cool. I need to stop talking. I think I might lose my voice, and I'm supposed to go to work tomorrow. I'll be pilot flying. So I got an Iceland A350. That's a version with the Aurora. What else? I think that's what's called. I'm gonna text you guys for a bit till my throat sorts itself out. So no, it's not Yanyagi, but I think it did have a different Y name. So this summer, obviously, we've got the air conditioning on a lot, and I kind of face sleeping the air conditioning. It's like 45 degrees outside, so I think it's really starting to do a number on my throat. So the next one I have there is an Air New Zealand 777 in the all blacks livery. Singapore Airlines 7474 with the 50 years livery. A China Airlines A350-900. I just like China Airlines. I love their call sign, Dynasty. So that was. Sorry, let me get rid of that lady. Yeah, so China Airlines, I really liked the livery. I just, I liked it. So Taipei was one of those first trips that I did. So on my own, one of my first solo trips. So that's why I got the China Airlines A340. Then I've got an Airbus A330-200 from KLM. That specific one is Federation Square, Melbourne, and in 2011 I had the pleasure of flying it from Abu Dhabi to Muscat and back in the flight deck. I knew somebody who knew somebody who has the captain, and they essentially brought me on as a guest, so I got myself a model of that as soon as I could. Next to it is an Air Arabia A320 because I have family who works there. And then next to that is a Hawaiian A330-200 because I like Hawaiian Airlines. I think it's cool as well. I've got another 747, another Pokemon jet. That's I think it's an all Nippon 747 or a Japan Air. I can't remember. And then there's another 737 from a Middle Eastern operator. That's up there with all the board games. And yeah, someone sent that link, so yes, it is that 737. I've got a bunch of models, a lot of them just kind of hanging around, and it's one of those safe gifts to get me, like, oh, it's your birthday, you want a model airplane? Yes, please. You have never, that looks like never seen. Yep, so when the PMDG 737 came out to be honest, I don't know if it was for P3D or for MSFS, this livery was available, and it was one of the first ones that I ended up flying to test out the 737. I'm pretty sure it was for MSFS because P3D V5 was when I was doing my type rating, and the 737 was already out at that point. It's pretty cool. I don't know if it's still flying. I have to say I don't think that airplane is still in service, or it's been repainted. I personally think it looks like an Orca, and I like Orcas too, so why not? So let me get back to sorting out how to get to Tokyo. Pull that up. Okay. So this is slightly cropped, so you guys aren't going to be able to see the weather, but you can take my word for it. I'm going to pull up airports, and we're looking at Narita. The weather at Narita, it's 180 at 4 great days. So knowing Narita, 1804 is probably going to be... Where is it? Okay, I've lost it. 18084 at Narita. That's well, that's the most important piece of information that we needed anyway for the wind. It's a pretty cool plane. I think a lot of people were taking pictures of it on airliners.net back in the day when it came out. And I was kind of active on airliners.net. Not that I knew what they were talking about, but I used to like reading the civil aviation forums and looking at the pictures. So I knew about it. I thought it was a really pretty looking plane. So yeah, and glad there was a model available of it. I think Qantas does some of the best special liveries out there. Liveries that aren't Pokemon liveries, of course. Oh, and in fact, the airplane we're flying today has a nice special livery as well. I'll show you guys what it looks like just now. I just want to make sure I get the just as we go past Tokyo, make sure I have the departures and arrivals sorted out. So most likely in Tokyo it's going to be a 1-6. Right departure, we can take 1-6 left as well if required. Runway 1-6 right preferably. And to be honest, I'd probably end up doing the Isla Zulu approach. I'll show you where I'm getting all that rubbish from. That's the planner that I'm using. And we're looking for arrivals from the west. Do you have arrivals from the west? No. From the north then. No, that's not it. Arrivals from the north, Swamp North. So that's the arrival I'm gonna set into the MCDU. The Swamp Gulf arrival. They like point mode systems. And then we're going for the ILS approach via Gemini. I'm going to go ahead and put that into the MCDU. MCDU. I can show you guys that plane. I'll go grab it for you guys so you have a good look at it. It's a bit old, so it's gone kind of yellow, kind of pale. Over time, of course, but still pretty good looking and slightly dusty. Everything is in the desert. So Swamp G arrival for the Isla Zulu 16 right, and that is ready. So if anything, I'll just go secondary 2, activate secondary, go Swamp, and then we'll be ready for the diversion into Tokyo Narita should we need it. Another thing I like to do in the event of a decompression, I also like to prepare the local QNH in and around the airport that I'm going to. So it's going to be 1008 for Tokyo Narita. Excellent. So do you guys want to see the... No, I'm not flying to Narita, I'm flying to Taipei. But I'm just setting up alternates in case something goes wrong. I need to get rid of this cough before tomorrow's flight, or else my colleague is going to be the pilot monitoring. Where I'm going tomorrow, I think I've flown there like 3 times as pilot flying, and usually I arrive in the evening, so tomorrow it's going to be like a mid-afternoon arrival. And I think my colleague's going to be watching me fly, just because of the throat. Yeah, so I'm just setting up diversions to the big airports, so Narita now, and then I'll set up a diversion to Osaka Kansai. Where else did I say? Fukuoka, Naha, if the weather's okay, and then finally to Taipei. I just want to have airports ready in and around the area. That's why I was saying we're doing like a slightly realistic kind of thing today, because this is mostly what we do, right? Like we get to level 380, we chill, we breathe, we make sure things are going okay, we have a coffee, we ask what's in the catering, so on and so forth. So I'll show you what... Sorry, I'm getting a bunch of texts. So I'll show you the airplane we're flying today. And she's actually quite cool. It's a special livery as well, so maybe you'll like it. I'll put us up on cinematics. Ooh, too loud, too loud, too loud. Too loud. Okay, I'm gonna turn that down. Yeah, this is Air Sorayama and Stalax. Quite a nice airplane. There's two of them. There's one in silver and one in gold. And I think I like the silver a bit better. It's not as in your face as the gold. It's really cool. I'm not a huge fan of how it's written on the roof, however. I much prefer it on the side. It's very nice, very sleek plane. Let's go back into the flight deck because this is entirely too loud. Hola. So audio issues is something I'm really struggling with in the sim these days. So not the sim, sorry, while streaming. It's been my big weak point, and we try to sort it out eventually. Let me show you the 737 real quick. So this is her, and let me see, make myself slightly bigger so you guys can see it. And yeah, she's gone yellow, just sun exposure over the years. I think at least 8 years now, and I'm noticing they've got little black spots everywhere. So quite nice, really nice looking plane here. But after seeing Maxes, I feel like the NGs have engines that are just entirely too small or not quite proportional to the airplane. So yeah, that's my Qantas special livery. Let me put that back. I'll be right back. Why am I turning off the camera? I am maybe not wearing pants, but we'll never know. Alright, back. Gotta get my sheepskin lens. Okay. You know, it's a good conversation about Qantas and their Aboriginal art, because there was the other one on the 787, Winalala Dreaming or something. Really cool. As someone mentioned, Yanani. So Yanani Dreaming is another one. So I think they all have like a dreaming name, don't they? I think this is also part of Yanani Dreaming, but it's called the Silver Room. That's interesting. Let me see. Yanani Dreaming. No, so Yanani Dreaming was, I think, specifically the red one. Let's see. Qantas Flying Art. Oh, nice. So they actually have a page for it. They have that new Airbus 220 C series with the Minima Kuchara which is Two Women Dreaming, which is the 6th aircraft in the Qantas Balaringi Flying Arts series, which is quite nice, really pretty airplane as well. They got a 7-8 that's called Emily Kame something. I can't see. I'm gonna butcher the last name. So this specific 737 was Mindu Warji, and I don't know if she still exists this way. Really nice. Yanyani Dreaming was the one before. Nalaji Dreaming was a 747-300 before that. Wunala Dreaming is quite popular. I think this guy had an incident in Bangkok back in the day. But yes, some of the best special liveries out there. Alright folks, thanks for being on. I'm not going off stream yet, but I'm going to take about 10-ish minutes while there's no, let's just make sure there's no ATC. Just going to take about 10 minutes, maybe 15, go touch base, go wash my face, visit the toilet, all kinds of stuff before, oh, there is ATC. Why didn't anybody send a contact me? Fukuoka Control is online for the past 2 minutes. Alright, so we're gonna expect a contact me shortly, and before that comes up, I'm gonna go make myself a cup of tea, and I'll take maybe 10-15 minutes and I'll be back. Thanks guys, thanks for raiding. It was nice to chat. Usually I just get to cruise and bugger off, and the arrivals are usually a little bit more exciting. But yeah, we'll catch you guys shortly. Stick around. Oh well, didn't get as much time as I thought. You gotta contact me. Sorry, yeah, didn't get as much time as I expected. We have that contact me now. And let's contact these guys. I keep forgetting my call sign. Star Walker. Alright. Let's say hola. We need to contact them on 128125. Local Control, good evening, Starwalker 851, level 380. Starwalker.
Good evening. Again, what's your call sign?
Radar control for Ethiopia 601 heavy.
Ethiopian 601, squawk 6134.
I thought the call sign was Starwalker.
6134, Ethiopia 601 heavy.
It is. For Control, good evening, Starwalker 851, flight level 380.
One flight level 410.
2 station at 1, Starwalker 851, squawk control, squawk 6157.
Squawk 6157, Starwalker 851. 6157. Alright.
Okay, control, good evening, Delta 171, flight level 410.
Delta 171, control, squawk 6135.
6157.
6135, Delta 171.
Squawking.
Tower 85 on radar contact, maintain flight level 380.
Maintain level 380, Starwalker 851 heavy.
Ethiopian
Starwalker.
601 radar contact, expect the ILS Yankee runway 16 left approach while heading 270.
Expect ILS runway 16, we're heading 275, Ethiopia 60.
ILS Yankee 16 left, fly heading 270 degrees.
Oh, I'm just seeing here that Nexio 359 asked me about
ILS
China Air
Yankee
777.
16 left, fly heading
I don't have the
270
777
Ethiopia 6.
from China
01.
Airlines. Also a huge fan of that. I know they've got a special Boeing livery. Not such a huge fan of that. I think it's a whole lot of blue. I'm not a huge fan of the Boeing blue, unless it's a clean Boeing blue.
10 minutes out of cockpit.
Delta 171 radar contact, maintain flight level 410, and yeah, 10 minutes is a preliminary back.
Maintain 410 and thank you for 10 minutes approved. We'll go back at Delta 171.
Cathay 548, descent to reach flight level 210 by 7 hours.
210 by 7, Cathay 548.
This bird 185, am I identified? You didn't even call in, so no. And you're still outside of my airspace. I can't have you radar identified out there. Call me back in 20 miles. Copy that. Ethiopian 601, turn right heading 310, this will maintain 6000.
310, right heading, descending 6000, Ethiopia 60.
Is this guy Japanese? He doesn't sound very friendly. I'm kind of used to Japanese being friendly. No names. Okay. Interesting. Let me get rid of that movie map. I think it's probably a little bit more on the way than it should be.
Welcome to Command Solar 360, Japan 529, maintain flight level 350.
Japan 529, score control, climb range,
Bothers me that it's not a perfect square.
410, Japan 529.
Let me do it. Yeah, no.
Welcome to good evening, Hong Kong Shuttle 622 370.
Or resize myself. That's better. There we go.
Hong Kong Shuttle 622, score control, squawk 6167.
6167, Shuttle 622.
Well, let me see if it's possible to request weather here. Request. Nope. D8 is. Nope. I want to call the company and ask for an ACARS weather report.
Hong Kong Shuttle 622, radar contact, maintain flight level 370, require direct expense.
Maintain 370, direct expense, Shuttle 622.
Yeah, no stress. Let's connect to this guy on CPLC. If he's got it.
Ethiopian 601, this will maintain 4000.
Descending 4000 is Ethiopian 601 heavy.
Cathay 548,
CPLC.
contact Turkey approach 119.4.
I don't think so.
for approach, Cathay 548, またね。
またね。
Okay. Get back to work. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get another secondary page set up for the diversion into Osaka Kansai. So at the moment we're somewhere around here. We've got a diversion set up for Tokyo. Just past, I guess somewhere between hotel onwards, Osaka Kansai becomes the closest airport. So I'm sort of setting up for an arrival now into Kansai. Just a bit, just something I do to keep myself occupied a little bit. Oh. Not often you get text from Amazon. Great. So Osaka Kansai, the weather 23087. Excellent. So we're probably going to end up landing towards the two falls. Which of them are longer? Two for right, longer. A little bit more isolated, so if we were in an emergency, I think that would be the better runway to go to anyway. For 2 for right, Japan, this time of night, they're sensitive for the noise, so we'll do...
Control to 680, review, descending to Sapporo Taipei.
Ethiopian 680, Tokyo approach information, Lima, expect the ILS Yankee, runway 16 left approach.
Information Lima, expect runway ILS Yankee 16 right. Tokyo 680.
Confirm runway 16 Lima, 16 left, and you're cleared by this 1 November arrival. Descend by the star to 1000.
Check in for the arrival, Tokyo 680.
Swan November arrival.
Swamp November arrival, expect runway 16 left, Tokyo 680.
Atmog Echo sounds good.
Ethiopian 680, descend by the star to 1000.
Descend by the star to 1000, Tokyo 680.
Let's set her up. MCDU left. Import the active. And we'll hit the flight plan for the active, and from Salmon.
Speed grade 185.
New destination is
waypoint non-lock.
Speedway 185, core control, squawk 6120.
Squawk 6120. Speedbird 185.
Ethiopian 601, this will maintain 3000.
Descending 3000, Ethiopia 601.
Atmog Echo arrival via Maya. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the platform here. I hear you guys are going ding ding. I can't see your messages. C'est intéressant.
Speedbird 185, radar contact, maintain, caution, this will maintain flight level 340.
Descend maintain flight level 340, Speedbird 185.
Excellent. So I worry about, and I've got things prepared, but I don't know if we even have the failures on. I thought they had random failures. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Don't care. Huh.
Ethiopian 601, tell left heading 240.
Left heading 240, Ethiopian 601.
I'm gonna enable autosave because I'm concerned. Don't have that, don't have that, don't worry about that, don't worry about this. Don't know. Interesting. Nope. Situations, yes.
Fukuoka control on A350 level 300 climbing 330 by lift.
So there are failures.
Control, climb maintain flight level 390.
Climb maintain flight level 390 or A350.
Ethiopian 601, descend maintain 1800.
But I'm kind of afraid of hitting enable. One of these actually happens
Ethiopia
right
601.
now. I'd like one of these to happen.
Ethiopian 601,
Sort of on
7
the
miles
arm.
from Birdie, tell left heading 180, cleared for IRS Yankee, runway 16 left approach.
Clear DLS Yankee, runway 16 left approach, Ethiopia 601.
Heading 180, cleared for the approach.
Heading 180, cleared for the approach, Ethiopian 601. Good control, Delta 171 is looking cockpits.
Delta 171, thanks. Would you like flight 400 or 430?
We'll get 400 for Delta 171.
Delta 171, descend maintain flight 400.
Descend maintain 400, Delta 171.
I need to get used to looking at these new screens because I still see myself looking out there. If I put myself in the expected landing view, oh yeah. To be fair, I think I'd be sitting slightly higher up and kind of looking down at it. So
Fukuoka control on Nippon 81, passing flight level
I think
290
something
for
like that
330.
is
Nippon 81, Fukuoka control, climb maintain
More my
flight
landing view.
370.
yeah, that looks
Climb
like
maintain flight level 370 on Nippon 81.
well, that's probably my package with my visa code. Sorry, visa.
Ethiopian
with
601,
my,
runway 16 left, clear to land, wind 180 at 4.
Clear to land, runway 16 left, Ethiopia 601.
with a visa mount. Okay. Time to do work while streaming. Excellent. I don't remember my password.
Ethiopian 680, descend maintain 9000.
Descend and maintain 9000, Delta 680.
Classic.
Fukuoka control on Nippon 81, if possible request final cruise flight level 350.
Nippon 81, roger, climb maintain flight level 350.
Roger, flight level 350 on Nippon 81.
Ah, for sec. That's crazy. There's actually a 350 cockpit now on this website. Oh, I lied. It's a 380. They are incredibly similar. Oh my days.
Ethiopian 680, fly heading 210, vector to final approach course, descent maintain 6000.
Fly heading
Okay,
210,
yeah, got it.
to runway. Checking for the altitude.
Descent maintain 6000.
Descent maintain 6000. Super 680.
Japan Air Flight 29, contact core control 133.3.
334 station banana, Vatican Alpha Hollis.
Hong Kong Settle 622, descent to reach flight 220 by stance.
220 by stance, shuttle 622. Route control, this is the Japan Air Flight 29, we are maintaining final 410.
Japan Air Flight 29, Skoka, roger.
Also guys, there's not much going on for the cruise. Pretty cool that Fukuoka's online. Don't think I've ever seen them on VATSIM before. So obviously that's nice, but I don't expect anything exciting to happen here during the cruise portion of the flight. What I guess will happen next is once we at Mihu, I'm gonna disconnect.
835 Mach decimal 8.
Actually, no, I'm not gonna disconnect, but I'm gonna go
835, are you able Mach 0.85?
and do what I need to do real quick. So Mihu will be at time 7:50, so another 20 minutes. Should be a decent amount of time to use the washroom.
835 maximum Mach decimal 8.
835, roger, maintain Mach 0.82.
Mach 0.82 for 835.
Etihad 680, turn right heading 270, descent maintain 4000.
Checking for the 660.
Heading 270, descent to 4000, expedite your descent.
270, descend to 7000.
Descent to 4000 and expedite.
Descend to 4000, my bad.
So I'm basically making a list of flights that I want to do for next month, and then I'm going to ask for them. Just easy ones, hopefully.
Speedbird 185, request direct Millet, question direct Lalit, Lima Alpha Lima India Delta.
Direct Lalit is the 185. Speedbird 185, what is the current runway in use? Because I have an old error, if you would mind to vector me.
I have no idea what runway there is in check the ATIS.
Copy that.
Etihad 680, turn right heading 300.
That doesn't sound Japanese at
Right
all.
heading 330, it's open 680.
Sorry, Ethiopian.
Fukuoka, hello, Starwalker 803, heavy at Narita, stand 62, information, Mike, request clearance.
Starwalker 803, squawk control, clear to Taipei Town Airport, Peacock 2 departure, flight by route, maintain flight 240, squawk 6104, runway 16 right.
Clear to Taipei via Peacock 2 departure flight plan route, flight level 240, squawk 6104 and runway 16 right, Star Walker 803.
Star Walker 803, read that correct.
Pass.
Dead. Question Ethiopian 680, confirm heading 300.
Heading 3.
Yeah, heading 300, please.
Heading 300, Ethiopian 680.
Upon 81, report Mach number.
Mach decimal 81 for Nippon 81.
Upon 81, reduce speed to Mach 0.78.
Reducing Mach decimal 70 on Nippon 81.
Okay, I'm gonna play music
Go
actually.
control Nippon Century, leaving Harbor 275, country 30.
Upon 73, score control, clarity, Florbo 390.
1370, Nippon Century.
Ethiopian 680, just wanna maintain 3000.
Gonna maintain 3000, Ethiopian 680.
Oh, we're taking song requests now. Something exciting, please.
Uncle Shadow 62, contact Tokyo approach 119.4.
194, Shadow 62.
On for crashing Japan Air 529, approaching Tower descent.
Japan Air 529, roger, just wanna maintain Florbo 390.
Submit to Florbo 390, Japan Air 529.
Speedbird 185, descent to reach Florbo 160 by Millet.
Descent to 160 by minute, to
Japan Air 529, I contact Tokyo Control 132.6.
132.6、Japan Air 529、ありがとうございます。
Ethiopian 680, turn left heading 240, just wanna maintain 1800.
Gonna maintain 1800, Ethiopian 680.
Ethiopian 680, turn left heading 240.
Left heading 240, Ethiopian 680.
Japan Air 785, squawk control, squawk 6175. Japan Air 785, squawk 6175.
Guys, I'm gonna leave you with cinematics while I work. There's no point watching me. So
Ethiopian 680,
I'll still be around on the tap though.
10 miles from 30, turn heading 180, cleared for Addis Yankee, runway 16 left approach. Ethiopian 680, heading 180, cleared Addis Yankee, runway 16 left approach.
Left heading 180, cleared LS Yankee, 16 left approach. 660.
Okay, make the heading 130 to join and you're still cleared for the approach.
130 is up to 680.
Japan 785, radar contact, maintain flight 36 better.
Starwalker 803, request start and pushback.
Starwalker 803, pushback approved.
Pushback approved, Starwalker 803.
Scope control, Skymark 729, now passing flight level 250, climb to flight level 330.
Skymark 729, Asco control, car 18, flight 350.
Climb to flight level 350, Skymark 729.
Controls up to 680, established on ILS Yankee 16 left.
Ethiopian 680, runway 16 left, clear to land, wind 180 at 4.
Clear to land, runway 16 left, is up to 680.
Air 235, contact call control 133.3.
133.3, Air 235 would be. Fukuoka control, Air 235, flight level 390.
Air 235, call control, regular direct L, big Echo Lima Bravo India Tango.
Direct to L for Air 235.
Star Walker 803 request taxi.
Star Walker 803 runway 16 right, taxi via Tango, hold short of Charlie. Taxi left on Tango to hold short of Charlie.
16 right, left on Tango, hold short Charlie, and Star Walker 803.
Order upon H1 contact, Tokyo Control 132.6.
Tokyo Control 132.6 on Nippon 81.
Ethiopian 680, continue via Kilo and report your gate number.
Continue via Kilo, gate number 91.
I feel like this is the longest I've ever spent in Japan.
Ethiopian 680, roger, taxi via Kilo,
we're practically
Echo 5 to
halfway
gate
to the flight.
901.
And
Kilo, Echo
it's
5
still
to
Japan.
gate 901. Stop
sure.
at 680.
Still Japan. A lot of Japan.
Japan Air 785, descent to reach Bravo 340 by E-Spec. Verify Bravo 340 by E-Spec.
Alright, safe to say from this point on we'll just go to Osaka Kansai if things go wrong. I've lost track of where it is.
Coast Control, good evening.
Yeah, it's slightly behind us. So,
528, passing flight level 276.
we'll head on to Kansai if things aren't working
Japan Air
out for us.
528, Echo Control, climb maintain Bravo 400.
I maintain flight level 400. Japan Air
Gonna sort out the next airport. Where next? I think
Star Walker 803, holding short Charlie.
at Carps,
Star Walker 803, thanks taxi right
which
on Charlie,
is
Whiskey,
there,
Whiskey
about
6
120 miles.
Alpha to holding
From
point
Carps,
Alpha 1.
we'll go to Fukuoka.
Charlie, Whiskey 6 Alpha, holding point Alpha 1, Star Walker 803.
Speedbird 185, information Alpha is current,
Yeah, it's the
expect
same
the
process.
LDA Whiskey runway 23 approach.
Sorry, information Alpha is correct, but can I get the approach again, please?
LDA Whiskey runway 23.
LVA Whiskey number 23 approach, Speedbird 185.
Fukuoka Control, good evening. Skymark 726, passing flight level 315, reaching 320 inbound taxi.
Skymark 726, Echo Control, climb maintain Bravo 340.
Climb and maintain flight level 340.
We'll do ILS
Skymark
16 left at
726.
Fukuoka if we go there. Runway is a bit smaller than the Japanese. They usually just have 3.4 or 3,000, so 2,800 here and 2,500. Okay, 2,800. Longer runway with the ILS. That's the one I like.
Speedbird 185, cleared by the Polix 1 Delta arrival, maintain flight level 160.
Maintain flight level 160, cleared for Polix 1 Delta arrival, Speedbird 185.
Kieran Echo.
Japan Air 785,
That's what
descent to
we'll
reach flight level 150 by Lesbo.
Nice. That's how we'll get to Fukuoka. Things hit the fan, direct to Antix or Kirin if we need additional track miles, and then we'll do the point merge system into Fukuoka.
Control Japan 285 with you.
24 miles to go, we'll be outside his airspace.
90.
And I'm going to take a much needed toilet break.
Japan Air 285, go control, say again, passing altitude, climb maintain level 410.
Leaving now flight level 300 and climbing to flight level 410 Japan 285.
In the meantime, let me find us a nice sort of view that we can just relax.
Controller Nippon 50 leaving flight level 310 for flight level
I think in the cabin will be nice.
Nippon 50, go control, climb maintain
Looking
level
left.
340.
Climb and maintain flight level 340 Nippon 50.
Yeah, so we'll look left over the Japanese
Control,
mainland.
hello, Dynasty 101 Heavy. Information mic request clearance.
Dynasty 101, go control, clear to Taipei Taoyuan Airport, Peacock to departure, flight plan route, maintain level 240, squawk 6107, runway 16 right.
Alright, there's a decent amount of traffic now departing Incheon. 55. Oh, yeah.
240, squawk 6107, Dynasty 101.
Dynasty 101, read that correct. Control Japan Air 502, flight level 320.
68 arrivals at Taipei.
Japan Air 502, go control, climb maintain flight level 380.
So I'm expected to get a 1450 Zulu, right?
502.
There are 3 aircraft, 3 other airplanes also expecting to arrive at 1450. There's one at 1448, one at 1444, 54, 54, 58. So it's gonna be tight. We can expect some spacing. Hopefully everyone listens, and there'll be no need to go around. Just keep the exits clear, keep moving, and then, you know, hope for the best. Must be nice. Business class.
Carry a wave only, check your mic. Air 235, contact Tokyo Control 132.6. Air 235, contact Tokyo Control 132.6.
132.6, hello 35.
Fukuoka Control Nippon 1103, leaving level 308, climb level 330, and request climb level 350 all the way.
Nippon 1103, go control, climb maintain level 350.
Climb maintain level 350, Nippon 1103.
Skywalker 851, leaving my airspace, next sector offline, frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, Starwalker 851 Heavy. Thank you very much, arigato. Alright, hit him with the arigato as well. Bet he wasn't expecting that. Over the Unicom. And then my much needed toilet break. I'll take you guys back to the cabin. This time we'll be in business again. Right, about 15 minutes, folks. I'll be back.
ocean, let it burn like fire. Do you yearn for a change? And I hope that you learn to never make the same mistake. Do you think about me when you're all alone? When the tide comes in, tell me, where will you go? Do you think about us when you're feeling low? Do you think about us? How does it feel now that I'm gone? How does it feel to get low? How does it feel now you're alone? How does it feel to feel low? How does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel?
Alright guys, thanks for waiting. I have to address what I think is likely major weakness here in terms of my streaming ability or lack thereof. Audio issues. I mean, how do I deal with when I change views and then, you know, I have to change the volume level just because I guess the airplane's a bit louder. Just stuff like that. I mean, I've been watching a few tutorials and I just can't seem to get it to work right. And I think at one point when I left and I kind of dialed down the noise of the aircraft itself, it was too loud, like lots of music, and now I'm gonna get a strike on YouTube telling me that, hey, you're hitting copyright material. Not that this is monetized anyway, but yeah. No camera for a few minutes, folks. I'm just doing some stuff that I'd rather not have out on stream. Nothing illegal, just we can call it a man and his vices. What I need to sort out next is what's after this. I mean, we're gonna do the arrival into Taipei, and I think that's gonna be the end of the stream today and of streaming itself today. And I've got about 3 days-ish of work, so I should be back. Tomorrow's Monday, so I should be back Wednesday afternoon, and maybe we'll come up with something exciting for Wednesday afternoon. In fact, let's see what events VATSIM has on Wednesday. I mean, apart from München Mittwoch, I guess. Oh, it doesn't let me go that far. Okay. I'm pretty sure Wednesdays is Munich, but I don't know. Somebody asked me about an hour earlier about the MD-11, and I think I'm feeling for it again. So Munich and the MD-11, I'd done it a few months ago. We did a Western Global from Riyadh to Munich, so probably a cargo operator. What I want to know is what you guys want to see. You know, we're just looking at the instruments here and we're cruising along. I can show you what I'm looking at in terms of planning stuff. It's obviously the sort of the next step. So Fukuoka here, up here, when we get there, I'm leaving a white berth until Okinawa. So I think until BOMAP, we'll just return to Fukuoka. After BOMAP, I'm thinking we'll go on to Okinawa. So on that front, I want to see what the weather's like in Okinawa, because according to Navigraph, there was supposed to be a tropical cyclone in the area, Cyclone Dolphin. Roa. There we go. Let's search for Roa. We'll figure out what the weather is like at Naha. 17036. Quite a low QNH. If you recall, the rest of Japan was around 1000 something. Here's 987. So that's indicative of convection around the area. A low pressure system tends to bring in the wind from the high pressure areas. So that can be challenging. And then if we look over here at the AFC, just the facility charts for Okinawa. It's going to be most likely a 1-8. A windy 1-8, but a 1-8 nevertheless. 1-8 right, ideally, because it's got the ILS. Unless there is something here that prevents said from said no terms and stuff. Base, all WDI unserviceable due typhoon. I don't know what WDI is. Taxiway Echo, Alpha. So in terms of, ILS glide path 36 right and 1-8 right. Between 14 and 21. So that's going to be us shortly. On the 8th. So no, not us. Puppy's unserviceable. Due typhoon. Which I find interesting. Good. So 1-8, oopsie. Keep getting these texts. 1-8 right, nevertheless. My supervisor is saying that I can stream on Wednesday. Let's see. So if we were to do 1-8 right into Naha on an RMP star, that's going to be either Ihea from the north, and then from the south it's going to be Velno. It's quite simple. Ihea to Kukul, essentially, via focus, and the ILS, so precision approach radar, from Kukul into Naha. So I can go ahead and set that in. And we're back to camera, and I have my little yoga chick. Nice, we have that planned. I'll set that up now for us. I said we go to Naha from waypoint Bomap, which is a decent way away. Bomap. So go back to secondary decks, we'll import the active again, hit the flight plan, and from Bomap we'll select a new destination, which will be Roa, Naha Airfield in Okinawa. ILS 1-8 right, the ILS approach, star from the north, which I've forgotten. It was going to be the oopsie, Ihea North, Ihea North, via Kukul. Excellent, so we'll just go ahead and set Kukul direct at any point that we need to go to Okinawa and execute that. But I think these secondaries are quite nice because it allows you to sort out the approach. Obviously if we're going to Okinawa we'll do config tree just to deal with the wind, and I can put in the weather there as well. So it's 170 at 36 knots. And 36. Well, this is a pretty good headwind. Temperature is at 29 degrees and altimeter 987. Degrees, 29, 987. Barrow minima for the ILS approach will be, I actually forgot you could do this, so which is why I'm doing it now. Quite fun. ILS 1-8 right, precision approach radar 1-8 right. It's minima of 270 for our category of aircraft. That's it. So we should set up for Okinawa as well. Secondary 3 actually is for Fukuoka, where I'll do a config full landing, and the reason is because of slightly shorter runway, where it'll be a bit heavier when we get to Fukuoka than we would be at Naha, and the wind is not too bad, so that's, you know, we can deal with that. 060 at 6 degrees. The outside air temperature in Fukuoka is 30 degrees. The ultimate will be 1005. 30 degrees, 1005. Minimums for the approach into Fukuoka. Alice 16 left. 220 feet. Config 3. That is if we go to Fukuoka. She's ready to execute. Kind of wish this was blueberry yogurt, but yeah, we had strawberry today. I think for this flight, I've kind of underestimated how big Japan was, because we're still flying, and it feels like I'm flying over Saudi Arabia. It's been almost 2 hours since takeoff, and it is still Japan, and not even one of those outlying islands. It's still one of the main islands here. Don't know which one though. All I know are Hokkaido and Honshu. I don't know which island this is. Hala, wa. You know what we can work on while we're hanging out is how I want it to look on landing. So this is going to be the landing view, and I think it's unfair that you don't see the PFD and stuff like that. So if we were coming in for landing, I'd get rid of my face, I'd get rid of the moving map, and I can put up the PFD here perhaps. Let me see if that's something I can work out while we're still here. And okay, and we'll capture this. Yeah, perfect. That actually works. Excellent. So it's gonna look something like this on landing, if I remember. And you'll get to see a little bit of the PFD there, so you'll see how I'm flying it. Which I think looks actually quite neat. You just won't be able to see. Well, I'll go into this view. Sorry. I'm probably going to this view after I'm configured, depending on how well I'm configured or how I'm managing my workload, and then I'll put that up so we can see how the flying actually works. If you missed it, the reason for that is because I've got a display now, 2 displays here actually, and I've got this entire bit, the first 2 screens here, actually it's just 1 screen I guess, this entire screen now on the second display here, and I've got this screen on a 3rd display, and I'm essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to mimic the eye movement that you'd have on a real airplane. So one eye looking primarily outside, and the other one just sort of scanning down the instruments as we go. So start scanning the instruments primarily, and then somewhere around 500-ish feet you'll see me transition to mostly looking outside, and hopefully we have a nice smooth landing in Taipei. Does anybody speak Portuguese? So bow map at 8:35. Alright, so since we're now essentially over the ocean, I'm gonna zoom out a bit so you have an idea the routing and where we are. This is obviously airplane track up, but I'll switch that to a north up orientation so you have a better idea on where we are. So that trunk of traffic is precisely what I was trying to avoid, because it'll be proper hell trying to get out of Seoul Incheon. Which is why we went out of Sapporo, somewhere a little bit quieter. But I see here that there's quite a lot of traffic in Japan as well. Why? I feel like I missed a memo or something. Was there an event out of Japan? Why is my Volanta not started? Okay, there it is. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. I mean, there seems to be a lot of traffic. Yeah, so this island, I don't know. Well, this is Miyazaki province, I guess. And we're getting to Kagoshima shortly. As the East China Sea as we go down the islands in the Pacific. Before turning west to go to Taipei. So, like so. ETP for our route should be somewhere around here. The direct routing would have taken us this way along with the traffic, but we too cool for that. You know, I started this flight because I usually think I finish flying a little bit too... I feel like the flight's a bit too short. Like I'd start a stream and before you know it is already arrival time. And that seems to be my primary type of streaming, just the arrival stream, because I feel like that's where most of the exciting part is, you know, the whole landing and the approach. Getting a bit high on the arrival and then dealing with the consequences of it. But I guess this is real life, right? Like you're just sitting here watching an airplane doing your note times, which was fun when we were in Japan still, because there's quite a few airports to go through. But now there's just between Fukuoka, Naha, and then eventually Taipei. I'm just a bit, there's not much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a look at what we're gonna do in Taipei, and I'm gonna take a look without my glasses, so it'll be hard to read. So that should take a little bit more time. Taipei, Taiyuan. Alright, you should see that. Okay, Taiyuan. 24014, there's showers in the vicinity. Few clouds at 1500, scattered at 4, broken at 6000, 30 degrees, 23 QNH. Altimeter 991, so it's kind of similar to the altimeter we saw in Naha, so it's low, which I think has got to do with the showers in the vicinity. It's not too bad because there's going to be a headwind in Taipei, and lately I've been trading crosswinds on VATSIM or on Flight Simulator in general, just because of how jittery my rudder pedals are getting. And I did a couple of flights on the A350, and of course that has its very spongy landing gear, I guess. So every time you land with a crosswind, you would just go bounce, bounce, bounce. But let's see. I mean, I haven't been on a 350 in a while, so hopefully that works out nicely. So based on that wind, we can expect to land on one of the 2-3s. I'm relatively familiar with Taipei. I know where things are. I know how to get from the runway to the terminal and so on. So that's just an overview of what Taipei looks like. We're actually flying in from the east, from I think it's Grace, in fact. Grace. So in that general direction we're going to be flying in. I'll have a look at the star, because I don't think I've done a Grace arrival. Most of my arrivals are either from the north or from the east. So Grace coming in this way is new. But I would hazard a guess and say that based on the amount of landing traffic, what works for people is runway 23 left. I don't mind 23 right. I'll set up for both once we are past. In fact, I could set up for both right now. Yeah, but we'll set up for the runway 23 left and right. And we'll look through the AOI to see if there's something specific about the arrivals. The thing about Taipei is I tend to depart Taipei more than I arrive in it. So max 250, aero below, maintain 280 knots. Okay. So below 250 and at or above level 130, we're gonna have to fly 280 knots. And below 130 and 10,000, the max IAS is 280, which is great, but I don't think that's going to happen today just because of the amount of traffic we're expecting. So I do expect that we end up getting some sort of speed control. They'll offer a CDO, but let's see. Traffic patterns, okay, don't care. This talks about the DME gap. I don't think it's very well simulated in Flight Simulator. That's something else with the ILS frequencies, for example. You only get them 20 miles away. But IRL, sometimes you're receiving the ILS frequency about 90 miles away, or at least a DME. Just got to be careful that it is in fact the right ILS that you can receive. We don't use it, or we're not supposed to use it. I do use the DME distance from the ILS, so I have a better indication of how many track miles to go until touchdown. NADP. And that was actually for departure. Great. So as for all arrivals, and we're expecting to fly procedures Bravo today. I'll probably end up at Grace, Sepia, Augur, and then from Augur something should be happening to us. 2-3 left from Augur. I think that's the point. Oh, actually the arrival could continue Augur, Jura or Junta. Is that correct? Augur. Yeah, doesn't actually show up. It ends at Augur. I guess these are the guys from the other side, right? So for us it's Augur, and we'll do Flash Dinky and then the final approach point finally to land at 2-3 left Taipei. After landing, I'll try Sierra 4. I think Sierra 5 is ambitious. Sierra 4, Quebec 2, right turn to Romeo is what I expect. Because if we turn onto Sierra straight away, you might have someone who's exiting here to go this way. So we can expect Sierra 4, Quebec 2, hold short Romeo, and then they can do what they need to do. So the 2 times I've been to Taipei, the one time I've parked here, and the other time I've parked here. For most of the routes out in and out of Taipei tend to be international routes anyway, so I'm sure all of them have their own customs control. I don't know which terminal Starlux is at, so that's just something I'll have to look up just now. But yep, that's it. I mean, I don't even have much of an arrival brief to do later on. It's just going to be more like a recap and how I'm going to fly it as opposed to actually flying it. Let's go in and set it up. Grace 1 Bravo via Augur. We'll set that on the active flight plan. Doesn't look like there are any discos here, so I'll insert that. I need to set up another speed constraint. Mhm. I'm trying to set up specific speed constraints. Not at Brent, at a certain altitude, so I'll have to put that in. Descent speed limit. I want to put 280 at whatever speed, but I guess I'll just fly that on with pole speed. I'll manage it myself. What else? What else? Oh yeah, I'm still working on MCDU. We need this is to go to Okinawa. This is to go to Fukuoka. We don't need this anymore. And we'll copy active. Except on the flight plan for 23 left, we're gonna go ahead and set 23 right. Be an ILS approach again. Grace 1 Bravo is the right star. Via Auger again. Is that correct? Auger for 23 right. Yeah, it is. So 23 left and 23 right are prepared. In both cases, I think I'll do a config tree landing. I'll just set up the minimums for runway 23 right. It's going to be 219 feet for my aircraft type. Nice. Let's hang out again. I mean, let's look at the airplane. I'll be around on text. I'm just gonna linger, do some other stuff, and I'll be back in about 20-ish minutes tops. At this point I'm slightly worried that my mouse is gonna die. But my computer does this weird thing when I when I plug in new hardware. It freezes up for a second, and I'm kind of scared of it freezing up. Sorry, no speak English. We should be getting a text any second now from Fukuoka. There's another one that's active and online now. And they are extending to a couple of sectors, so ooh, bit of turbulence, but it's a nice wallowy kind of turbulence. It's the kind that makes you want to fall asleep. I find it interesting that every time I walk away, ATC comes on. But to be fair, I don't walk away far, hey? Just a little bit. Just next door. So we should be with Fukuoka Control Sector 8. They're covering Sector 15, 14 and 20 as well. And it should be a 127.5. Let's say Aloha. 127. Let me pull that com all the way up, because I think I'll be using that a little bit more often than we anticipate. 1275. And let's see. I don't know how long they've been active though. I'm just gonna see, because sometimes it takes a while for them to
Fukuoka Control, Starwalker 803, heavy flight level 400.
Starwalker 803, contact giving, roger, maintain favor for 100.
Maintain level 400, Starwalker 803.
So Starwalker 803, who left Tokyo, is already checking in. So I mean, we should have to as well. Let's say hello. Fukuoka, good evening. Starwalker 851, level 380.
Fukuoka Controls, good evening. Dynasty 163, flight level 330 over Sheldon.
Dynasty 163, Fukuoka, good evening, roger.
So I guess we wait. So what's the right etiquette for this? Do we wait for contact me's, or do we let them Or do we contact ahead?
Dennis 163, do you need 4 times fast speed?
Can you repeat for Dynasty 163?
Yeah, Dennis 163, you speed is too high. 4 times simulating speed. Normal speed, please.
Alright, at normal speed now. Dynasty 163.
Thank you.
Let's try again. Fukuoka, good evening. Starwalker 851, flight level 380 at waypoint Limerick.
Starwalker, confirm Starwalker 851.
Affirm, Starwalker 851, level 380. What's my squawk?
Last calling, confirm Starwalker 851.
Affirm, Starwalker 851, flight level 380. We're squawking 6157, Starwalker 851 heavy. Maybe I'm outside his airspace, but on the VATSIM map it looks like I am in his airspace. Let me turn that on so we can see. Oh, sorry. So the map says something else.
Good evening, FedEx 6120, going on to recreate direct Academy, maintain 534, sir. Confirm direct to Saini. Confirm FedEx 6120, direct to Saini. Direct to Saini, FedEx 6120, thank you. Flight 603, welcome to good evening, maintain 536.
Well, I might be outside his airspace, so no panic until they call.
Agent 711, proceed direct to Salami.
Direct to Salami, Ashana 711.
Engineer 714, you're leaving my space. Unfortunately, Taipei control is not online. So monitor advisory 122.8. Have a good night.
Water 122.8, Engineer 714, arigatou gozaimasu.
감사합니다.
Well, the frequency has gone real quiet now. I quite like when people text on vPilot. You know, when they see something interesting and like, hey, what's up? Why are you doing this weird flight plan? So I just got a message from Evo 189, and that specific airplane was flying between Tokyo Haneda and Songshan.
Junior 121 Fukuoka.
I think I might have preferred to land at Taipei Songshan, but I
Junior
couldn't
121,
find
go
the
ahead.
flight.
Junior 121, good evening, Fukuoka control, the control, maintain 54390, direct at Toti.
Maintain flight 390, direct at Toti, Junior 121.
This is a brilliant question from Dummy1808 X1 Charlie on YouTube. So we actually kind of covered that. So what airport options do you have, and which one would you choose? It depends on the type of emergency, right? So at the moment, this is a waypoint I choose, Anoxa or Mikax or Bomap actually. So I don't know if you can see that there. Bomap. Oops. This place called Bomap was essentially my decision point between going back up north to Japan towards Nagasaki or to carry on south.
Tennessee 163, contact engine control on 128.35. Have a good night.
Sorry, was Fukuoka
Incheon control,
in Japan
128.1325, Tennessee 163. Thank you, good night.
or Naha in Okinawa. That being said, it also depends on the kind of emergency you have, right? Like, say if I was to have some flight control issues, or well, actually, I can't see a reason to preclude landing in Osaka. Sorry, I can't find a reason to preclude landing in Okinawa, but I know it's quite windy and there's a passing typhoon. So if there were problems that happened on board that required where the weather might play a part, then I might consider not going to Okinawa and rather stretch the flight on to Taipei or back towards Fukuoka. But at the moment the plan is to go to Okinawa, and I can show you here the navigation display where Okinawa is. So
Channel 711, contact Taipei controller on 126.7, good night.
Contact Taipei controller 126.
there is Okinawa.
Channel 711, sayonara.
Roll.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
And if I look at data, that's Okinawa. It tells you how long the runways are, 36 left, 36 right. Based on the wind, I think we said we're going to land 18 right at Okinawa, or 18 left at Okinawa.
Tennessee 161,
Or 18 right, it has LS. Yeah, so that was the plan. At this point we go to Okinawa. There's obviously another airport just below me. I'm not familiar with it. which is Tokunoshima. The runway is a bit on the shorter side there, just at 2,000 meters. So if it was like a fire or something, we can go down here, of course. But if it's medical and stuff, then you want to guarantee a landing. I think Okinawa is better. Not necessarily medical, sorry. If there's something troubling our stopping distance, so say flaps not working or the spoiler is not working, then maybe this is not something we'd look at, and we'd look somewhere else. Thanks for the question,
Fukuoka Control, good day, Thai 931, flight level 390 inbound, Salmi.
Thai 931, Sky contact, good evening, Ratchet.
Fukuoka Control, hello, Dynasty 101 Heavy, flight level 365, climbing flight level 380.
Dynasty 101, Sky contact, good evening, Ratchet. EVA 169 traffic, opposite direction, 5039 Thai Airways, Airbus 380, 4 miles ahead, and EVA 169 contact Taipei control on 126.7, good day.
Roger, we'll copy the traffic, or contact Taipei control 126.7, EVA 169, have a great night, we'll see you.
We'll see you, thank you.
And while we're on the subject of Okinawa, I'm just here looking at how the weather is progressing at Naha. It's gotten windier. Wind is now 160 at 35 knots, 7,000 meters visibility. The clouds are broken at 2,500, so that typhoon, while blowing through, isn't really causing precipitation, so it's mostly a weather thing. If I look here, I think I can turn on the weather for you, so you'll be able to see what that typhoon looks like.
And EVA 170 at 360.
You can see parts of it. The yellow bit there is essentially, sorry, this is
Alpha Lima,
yeah, so
Mike, India.
Now it's clear, but this airport that we're flying over is probably not so clear.
Can you repeat? You were a little broken.
EVA 170
this shows you as time
Sierra
proceeds.
Alpha Lima, Mike, India.
Yeah, you see how it goes north and east. The whole system
6120 contact
moves
Taipei 126
towards the west
have a good night.
in this hemisphere.
Contact Taipei contour on
This is it now.
126.7. 管制ありがとうございました。また次回もよろしくお願いいたしますね、sir.
Good night, sir. Thank you. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
EVA 189 contact Taipei 126.7. Have a good night.
Contact Taipei 126.7, EVA 189, have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thai 931 request direct Atoti.
Direct Atoti, Thai 931.
So that's actually interesting. So Dummy 1808 on YouTube asks another question. What if it's a fuel leak?
Korean 865 for spacing, fly heading.
I'd go to Okinawa. Yeah. Well, it depends on how quick the fuel is leaking, right? Like you have a general idea on what the rate is based on how quickly it's going. So I just continue on the route nicely until we get closer to Okinawa, and then it says, hey, how's the fuel situation? I don't think I'd continue on to Taipei because obviously we are expecting to land in Taipei with the minimum fuel. We know it's going to be a lot of traffic, we know it's going to be windy, so it might be wiser to go somewhere off the major routing. Look at that, look at that, look at the speed.
Staboka 803, contact my frequency 135.3.
1353 star, walk 803.
Dynasty 1 from the rear direct to Saturday. Dynasty 161 direct to Sapporo.
Starvalk 803 on 135.3.
Starvalk 803, thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, so fuel leak, I think Okinawa would be my best choice. In fact, speaking of Okinawa, let me go ahead and set 1165, which is the frequency for Okinawa, for the nav aid at Okinawa 1165.
Kenya 121, traffic on 11 o'clock, 18 miles southbound, Korea Boeing 777, 50380.
1165, and that might show up
Korea
here.
9865, traffic on 2
Yes,
o'clock.
so Okinawa is straight ahead of us, about 80 miles, 90 miles. So even if I make the engines idle, like no power at all, that way should, depending on where the leak is, we may end up losing less fuel. But then we can get into Okinawa essentially not having turned the engine on or having used any fuel at all. So, well, relatively speaking. So Okinawa would be my best bet. The weather's okay, just low clouds and windy.
Market 603.
With maybe a possibility of rain.
603, sorry, contact
I
Taipei
need to charge this a bit.
Decimal 7, good night.
Roger, 126.
My sim might freeze.
Market 603. Arigato.
Please don't. Okay, it hasn't frozen. Mission successful. No. No, please no. Okay, ladies and gents, I made a mistake connecting this mouse, and I regret to inform you that my flight simulator is now frozen, so all of this would be for nothing. We'll give it a couple seconds to see
Korea 705 and proceed
how she
direct
reacts.
to Sapporo, Sierra Alpha Lima Mike India.
Roger, Sierra Alpha Mike India.
So stupid.
Korea 6, Korea 9865, turn right.
Well, congratulations, you've seen another live crash here on
Heading
Twitch,
210,
or
9865,
YouTube on stream. I'm going to give it a couple seconds, hopefully it works out.
Fukuoka, Cathay 413 with you, flight level 400.
Cathay 413, contact Lebanon, Roger.
Alright, ladies and gents, in my previous experience, this is a 50-50 sort of situation. Sometimes it comes back, often not. So what I'm doing now is I am gonna take a short break and hope for the best. Okay, so I have now been disconnected from VATSIM, which is obviously a negative thing to happen. I am gonna disable these two on my face and so, and hopefully it starts moving again. If not, that's the end of the stream. Luckily for me, the iniBuilds A350 now has a built-in autosave feature, sorry. So hopefully that works, and let's get a couple seconds, let's see. Alright folks, this time it's usually not off for this long, so we have, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be working. So what we're going to do is we're going to now disconnect off the stream and reconnect again. So if you're actually interested, you could come back and watch it. Watch the arrival bit at least. I'm just going to have to restart VATSIM and we'll